Olivia, talk to me. How are you? What is going on in your world? I want to know all of the things. What's up?
I landed in New York City last night at like 12 a.m. I missed my
Mhm.
flight, which was cool. And then currently I've just been trying to get back to, the time change this morning, which has been hard, but we're working on it.
Did you say you missed your flight?
Yes.
Are you one
Yes.
of those people that gets to the airport like 10 minutes before the airplane is about to board? Because that is me all day.
Yes, but normally I'm a little bit better at it. But yesterday just
Just didn't
fully,
cooperate.
it wasn't even like a slim chance of me making it.
Did you just celebrate a birthday?
Yeah, like maybe like 3 or 4 days ago.
First, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me, what did you do for your birthday? Did you have a good time?
Yes, probably my best birthday yet. I celebrated it in Hawaii with like 12 of my girlfriends. It was awesome. We were on this cute little like secret island where we could go surfing during the day. And then a bunch of the girls were like, eating food back at like the little campsite. We went canoeing. We did sunrise surfing. We did like a 2.5 hour hike in the morning. And then for dinner, we did like a huge potluck dinner where each girl like cooked their own meal.
That's awesome.
Was actually the best day ever.
Do you feel like that you came back, you're relaxed, you're refreshed, you're feeling good?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it was a little stressful trying to take care of like 12 girls, but it was fun at the end of the day, and I was kind of have been more happier with it.
I tell you, you're better than me because I am that person that will literally have a birthday party, right? And
Yeah.
I honestly will be afraid that the people that said that they were going to come, especially like a destination birthday party, I get anxiety that the people that I invited will not show up.
Oh, yeah, you definitely, I have anxiety about that, but I sent them a text message and I was like, if there's any possibility of you not coming, I need to know now. And then if there's like any possibility of not coming, I'm just like, don't worry, it's okay. You don't have to come. Or like, honestly, a lot of them were like very last minute. They were like, oh yeah, like I ended up being able to come. And I was like, I thought like maybe like 6 people were going to come. It was
Mhm.
literally that. And I was like, okay, we're going to work with it.
Olivia, let me tell you, I got some janky friends. Like I will send that text message like, "Hey, can we please do this? I am doing it. Last final call." They'll be like, "Oh, I'm in." 3 days before we're supposed to take off at LAX, they'll be like, "Oh man,
See,
sorry, can't make it."
that's me. I will get mad and I'll just be like, no, you're coming. I don't care regardless.
So I feel like you've been up to a lot of things. You were just named, what is that, Rookie of the Year with Sports Illustrated.
just like a Sports Illustrated rookie. They haven't announced rookie of the year yet.
How does that feel?
Honestly, absolutely insane. Like I feel like it's one of those things that you don't really ever process happen that it happens to you. You're just kind of like, oh, okay. Like it's obviously been a huge dream of mine since I was probably like since I knew what Sports Illustrated was. I was like, Mom, look, I want to be one of those girls. And then when Haley called me and I got the news, I like fell to the floor. I was like crying. I was like, hello.
By the way, me saying Rookie of the Year, that's me speaking it into existence.
Uh,
And number two, take me back to you telling your mom that you wanted to be Sports Illustrated Rookie. Like, what was her reaction? How did you know that?
it was funny because I grew very so basically I was short my entire life. I was probably like a good 5'2", 5'3" until about my sophomore junior year, and then all of a sudden I literally grew like 5 inches in 1 year.
Mhm.
And I told my mom I wanted to be like a Victoria's Secret model, Sports Illustrated model when I was probably like 14 years old. Keep in mind I was a good 5'2" at this time, and my mom was very supportive. She was like, yeah, but like it was not realistic for me. I also hadn't hit puberty yet. I looked like a little girl. Mom was just like, okay, Olivia. And then I literally went from me wanting to become an anesthesiologist to me wanting to be a Victoria's Secret model. And my mom was like, Olivia, different career paths, completely different career paths. And I think honestly, everyone kind of just thought, I mean, even when I was younger, I mean, I think this thing is funny because whenever I would write like letters to my track coach, I would always be like, thank you so much. Like, love Olivia Ponton, aka a future like Sports Illustrated model. And my because with being with sports, I like always looked up to like the Sports Illustrated girls, and I always told my coach that I was gonna model for them, and he was just like, oh yeah, like ha ha ha. And then I remember sending him like my photos from Sports Illustrated, and he was like, you weren't lying, and I was like, nope, no, I was lying.
Where did you go and take those photos, by the way?
We went to Montenegro. It's kind of like by Albania.
Uh-huh. How was that? Was that almost like a free vacation, or no? Did you show up to work?
No, you definitely show up to work. Like I think a large part of it is like the nerves, and you're just like nervous the whole time. So it's not really vacation because you're not like chilling on the beach. You're
Mhm.
like you're really, really nervous for the shoot. And I mean, I was only there for I believe 3 days, and the travel time itself is like a good 12-hour flight,
Is it?
really far away. And yeah, I mean, honestly, going there, just being in this beautiful country by myself, practically traveling there, was a little nerve-wracking.
I was gonna ask, you said nervous. What are some of the things that you feel like you were nervous about?
I mean, number one was the fact that I was significantly younger than everyone else. I
Mhm.
kind of was nervous for that aspect. I was like, oh, like I gotta do this the right way. And then the second part would definitely be we were shooting very small bikinis in like 40 to 50 degree weather.
Oh,
So I was
oh.
like a little nervous for that, just like with being cold. Um, but honestly, like couldn't have been more of a successful trip. There was really good food, really good set, really good people.
Is there any thought in the back of your mind when you were saying nervousness? Because I was wondering this, because I feel like I have this what's the syndrome called? The
Imposter syndrome.
yes. Was there a little bit of that in the back of your
Oh,
mind?
I struggle with imposter syndrome all of the time, like probably on the day-to-day basis. Like I came back to my apartment last night and I just sat and looked outside for a solid hour, just being like, what was the past 3 weeks of my life? Like,
Mhm.
hello. And I think it's something that you're just like, go, 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 go. You're so busy. And it's hard to just take time to be like, okay, breathe. This is real. Especially during my SI shoot, the whole day I was like pinching myself. I was like, I'm gonna wake up. This isn't gonna be real. Like, what is going on?
That's interesting that you are able to do that, because me, I'll just get on a hamster wheel and just continue to run and run and run and not be able to calm myself down and say, hey, you deserve to be here. This is real. This is a real thing happening. I guess, how'd you learn to do that?
I mean, I still don't. I couldn't tell you. I'm not too good at it. I mean, I'm still struggling with it on the daily basis. But I think just something that I did realize is kind of like I work very, very hard. And whenever I realize like, the thoughts start taking over my head, I like to like back myself out of it. And then I have a journal that I literally write everything in, and I'll go down and I'll make like a list of like the things that I'm grateful for, or just something that really roots me back to where I'm from, just to kind of be like, okay, remember you started here, you worked your little tush off the entire time.
That's a great piece of advice. Keep a journal just so you can track your journey, and also you can track your feelings in the same process. You know what I mean? To snap
Yes,
yourself out of it.
fully, fully.
So let's talk about it. June is Pride Month, and I just want to know how important. What does Pride Month mean for you?
Oh my gosh, Pride Month, first of all, is my favorite month,
Hmm.
obviously. And I think honestly, just with Pride Month, it's kind of a hard feeling to explain, but you just feel so accepted. And the one thing that I love is how many like pride events are going on, whether it's New York City, Los Angeles, and how many people of the community you're constantly surrounding yourself with. Because, I was just in Los Angeles and I went to a pride event, and everyone was just completely themselves. It was so interesting to just like sit in the corner of the room and just accept all of like the awesomeness that was kind of like circulating. And I think honestly, Pride Month for everyone who is in the community and whatnot, it's just a surreal experience to be able to go and march in parades and be able to go events and talk to other people in your community and kind of like, connect with others in that way.
Do you feel like a weight's been lifted off of you just being out and open for a full entire year?
No, fully. I was in Hawaii last week, and on the first day of June, I was sitting on the beach, just kind of really taking in what the last year has done for like my mental health with me coming out and everything. And, you know, the biggest thing would be like the weight lifted off my shoulders. The moment I told my mom, the moment I came out to social media, the moment I told my family, it was kind of like I could finally breathe and I could finally be exactly who I was.
And I'm sure your mom didn't take it any way that you conjured up in your head, right?
Not at all. She was kind of taken aback by it because she wasn't expecting it at all.
Mhm.
And she was just, I remember on the phone, she was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, so I think it was interesting. And then I remember calling my sister, and my sister was like crying and screaming. She's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. So definitely what I was not expecting in my head,
Mhm.
but couldn't have been more happier with it.
That is such a great feeling. I am so happy for you. Tell us, what are you working on next?
Working on next. Well, I just purchased an apartment in New York City. So
Ooh, let me just say, I know how those prices are right about now. So that is a huge accomplishment.
thank you. I mean, it's honestly a dream. So basically, ever since I got in last night, I've been just reorganizing, trying to figure out where stuff is going to go. I mean, my walls are painted, but that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
Just trying to get that all organized in the next week or so. And then, you know, being in New York City, there's events every single night. There's Pride Month that's literally going on right now. The Pride Parade is, I believe, the 26th. So definitely we'll be there, and just a bunch of fun little summer things coming up.
Can I just say I appreciate your energy. I appreciate you telling me what to get at Sweet Greens. And thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.